Cheers, I do buckaroos. How the heck are you? I had originally scheduled this video for 9, but I had to delete that broadcast because, circumstances were beyond my control. So, anyway, we're trying again now. It became obvious to me that 9 o'clock wasn't going to happen, so I just deleted and tried to start over again. Anyways, Martin City Oktoberfest. This is the first and only Oktoberfest I bought so far this year. Well, in a six-pack variety. I had the Mother's Dry Hop Märzen at their Oktoberfest last weekend. I do like this one a lot. It is a little bit on the big side for a Märzen, but the flavors are just so incredibly spot on for the style. It's absolutely amazing. So anyway, let me pour that for you. So look how beautiful that beer is. Oh, mercy. Cheese biscuits and gravy. Anyways, I digress. But I digress, man. So I'm using my Woodford Reserve Glencairn that I've had for, good golly, probably at least a decade. I've had this for quite some time. I had a Rocktown out of Little Rock, Missouri. I had that one for about the same amount of time, but it got busted about 3 years ago. So I've got this one, and I've got my holiday that I'm hanging on to. So I'm pouring a couple ounces of the Rivalist. It is an American single malt from Union Horse out of Lenexa, Kansas. This particular model is at 96 proof. Let me put that up there, change props on you. Oh, that's too tall, Tom. You can't read the label, Tom. See if I can make some adjustments here. Oh. We're gonna get there eventually. Anyway, how the heck are you? I am Tom the Beer and Whiskey Whisperer. For the purposes of this video, let's see. I had this prop right at one point, but things have got moved on me, and now I'm not sure where it was. So we're gonna have to improvise here. Be the right size. Bear with me. I can make this work here. Maybe. Yeah, that's it's the right height, but that's a little iffy. That's not gonna hold it, huh? Anyways, anyways, the rival is from Union Horse Distilling at 96. A incredible example of an American single malt whiskey. Let me pick that up here. Oh, that's gorgeous. That's beautiful, man. I don't care who you are. Yeah, that's beautiful. Rivalist American single malt whiskey is a small batch artisanal whiskey made from 100% malted barley. I mean, this stuff is just insane. It really is that good. By Union Horse Distilling Company out of Lenexus, Kansas. Handcrafted from start to finish using the finest Midwest barley in our copper pot still, then aged to perfection in new oak barrels. Beautifully complex and elegantly simple, Rivalist combines tender notes of caramel, orange peel, and baking spices with long-lasting succulent finish. Sit back, pour a glass, and give a toast to perfection. Yeah, this thing is absolutely gorgeous. I am loving most American single malts, but this one really is. I mean, it's just special. That malted barley, that 100% malted barley. Oh gosh, I did buy two of these because, well, I wanted to be able just to tuck one back and forget I have it while I drank the other one. Kind of wait till maybe wait till Christmas or New Year's to pop that second bottle. So baking spice, I got a conversation with a very knowledgeable bourbon guy today, whiskey guy, probably more so than myself. Maybe definitely more on the technical side. You definitely know more on the technical side than I do. We were having a discussion about baking spices. So a lot of folks asking, well, what is baking spice? So, but we kind of had a conversation about that, and it really kind of depends on what you taste really is up to you, right? Baking spice can combine a lot of different things. It could be cinnamon, allspice, clove, nutmeg, cardamom. There's a lot of things that can go with ginger. There's a lot of things that could go into what baking spice is, but you're not going to taste any of those things if you don't know what they taste like in the first place, right? If you don't eat cardamom, you're not going to know what cardamom tastes like. If you don't use nutmeg, you're not going to know what nutmeg tastes like, and so on. A lot of folks equivalent cinnamon and allspice as the same thing when they are completely different. Now, allspice is similar. There are certainly some similarities between cinnamon and allspice, but they are distinctively different. But if you're not attuned to those spice notes, you're not gonna feel it that way. Same way when people say dark fruits. Well, what does dark fruits mean? Well, that could be anything. It could be fig, it could be date, it could be dark cherry, it could be plum. There's a lot of different raisin. There's a lot of things that could be dark fruit. What you're going to taste is what you know. So the manufacturer may say you might taste date or fig, or some so-called expert on YouTube may say you're going to taste date and fig. But if you don't eat date and fig, you're never going to feel it that way. That's why I hate when so-called experts want to correct newbies. And oh, you're going to taste this. Well, if that's not what they eat, they're not going to taste it. If they interpret it a specific way, how can they be wrong? I like to tell folks you're never wrong. What you feel, what you taste is what you taste. Nobody's ever wrong. You're only going to taste what you know. See, now I'm trying to get the nose of this particular whiskey, but it's being interfered with because my wife just pulled a cake out of the oven, and now all I can smell is that cake. So now I'm getting that cake. I don't even know what it is, but I'm smelling certain things from that cake. I said, now I'm smelling cake. Anyways, anyways, I digress. Sometimes life fucks with you, and you just gotta fuck with it right back. anyways, anyways, I digress. I need that on a T-shirt. I'm gonna put that on a T-shirt. Sometimes life fucks with you, and you gotta fuck with it right back. Anyway. I am going to put that on a t-shirt, by golly. That's going to be my theme from here on out. Sometimes life fucks with you. You just got to fuck with it right back. Anyway, anyways, I digress. I'm going to get back to this beer here. Sometimes life fucks with. Anyways, anyway, I digress. become my catchphrase, I guess. So there are certain folks that want to troll me, that want to let me know that I wasn't the one to invent. But I digress. Of course, I wasn't. I use it a specific way. Uh, in my videos, a lot like Ron White uses his glass of scotch. It's about the timing. Never claimed that I invented the line. It just become kind of a catchphrase, I guess. I don't mind the trolls so much, quite frankly, because it tells me I'm living rent free in their empty little noggins. They just want to hate on people. Hey, I'm here for you. I'm sorry you don't have a life. I'm really not sorry you don't have it. I'm not really sorry. I'm sorry that you only feel fulfilled by messing with people just going about their daily lives. Uh, anyway, say it with me. I digress. But anyway, oh, wow. I just noticed that there, though. Let me take a drink because there's something I noticed that I don't remember picking up before. We are talking about dark fruit a minute ago. And we're talking about the various possibilities of what dark fruit could be. But right at that moment, as I took that drink, I really felt raisin in a great big way. It was coming off of, I feel some brown sugar, very dark brown sugar, maybe a hint of maple as well. But I really caught those raisin like notes in there, as well as some very dark cherry notes. Again, baking spice. They say baking spice. Yeah, they're certainly not wrong with sir whiskey. They can describe it any way they want to. But if I want to put a finer point on this, I honestly feel more allspice than I get cinnamon. But I do feel both. But I'm feeling allspice for most. Certainly, uh, you get a clove. I'm not sure if I'm picking up nutmeg, but you wouldn't be necessarily wrong if that's how you felt it, because it really kind of depends. Again, I mentioned cardamom earlier. I feel like I'm picking up just the slightest notion of cardamom and a little bit of ginger right at the end, because I get that little bit of ginger spice, also that little bit of citrus that fresh grated ginger has to offer. 100% malted barley gives you just that kind of dankness, I guess, for lack of a better word, coming from a beer guy point of view. That little bit of dankness. It's absolutely gorgeous. Oh man, I put this whiskey. So yeah, so I had to open a bottle while we were gone. I bought it the first day we were on a kind of a 3 day vacation. And when we got to where we're staying, I did have to open it and try some. And I tried some the second day and the third day because it really is that good. But then we got back, I've had it kind of sparingly because I kind of want to hang on to. So this is the first pour I've had in a little bit. I wanted to remind myself of what it tasted like. It's just amazing. That stuff is just crazy good. I've really been enjoying the American single malts. It's kind of been my thing lately. Anytime I find American single malt, I'm going to buy it. The one thing that really kind of, I don't know if bothers me is the right word, but I don't know. Craft beer guys typically want to buy small, right? They typically want to buy as local as possible, but we will go into our local liquor stores and buy whatever new is on the shelf. Something new from out of state comes in, we certainly want to try it. I think my frustration with bourbon guys or whiskey guys in general is they don't tend to think small. They don't look at a lot of the small distillers. They're looking at those big guys, those allocated numbers. Oh, we got to have this. We got to have this. And I approach everything I drink from a buy small point of view, whether it be beer, whiskey, or wine. I think it's important to buy whatever you have local. Forget about what's allocated on the shelf. Forget about those things. Just forget about them completely. Look at what local distillers you have. In my case, I have one local distiller in Springfield, Missouri, Tiaki Da. I buy those products whenever I can. But I've got what I consider, semi-local, but still buying small is Kansas City. I've got well, this Kansas, but it's around the Kansas City area. But next to Kansas, where I've got Union Horse. And then there's, Kansas City, where I've talked about Russell Spirits in other videos. I've got one over here from Dogmaster out of Columbia. Anyway, not necessarily local to me, but not all that far. I just encourage people to buy these products. Forget about what's allocated. Forget about what some so-called expert is telling you should buy or have in your collection. And quite frankly, forget about having a collection. Buy what you're going to use. Buy what you're going to drink. 25 bourbons or 100 bourbons or 300 bourbons sitting on your shelf isn't doing anybody any good. It's just so somebody can brag, hey, look, I got 300 bourbons that I'm never going to open. I don't understand that mentality. The stuff is meant to be used. You know, buy the products you like at the price you can afford, and don't be afraid to drink them because that's what they're there for. I just don't understand the mentality of collecting. Collect baseball cards. Don't collect whiskey. Whiskey is meant to be drank. It's not meant to be collected. Again, I just don't get. And I will tell you that I have never, ever, not once, bought anything on a secondary market because it's a ripoff. If you're buying stuff on a secondary market, you're a lemming. You're more concerned about what somebody thinks about you than buying actually good whiskey. Because there is good whiskey on your store shelf. Whatever liquor store you got in your neighborhood, I guarantee you there's good products there right now that is not allocated, and you don't have to buy on the secondary market. If you're looking to buy on the secondary market, you're a poser. You want to have certain things on your shelf so you can say, "Hey, look at me, and I special." When whiskey is about enjoyment, it's about enjoying the product. It's not about collecting. It's not about having certain bottles to say, "Hey, look, it ain't special." Anyways, I digress. It just bugs me. The secondary market thing just really pisses me off to no end. You've got folks, getting way too much for product, and then folks gladly paying way too much for product, and then bragging that they paid too much for product, like that somehow makes them special. I just don't get it. So, anyways, I digress. Let me get back to the whiskey here. But I digress, man. Uh, oh, I forgot to change something here. I just realized it as I've been talking now for quite a while. Meant to do that when I first got started, but got off my rhythm. Oh no, there we go. There we go. Get that fixed. And we're in business. Anyways, anyways, I digress. But I digress, man. Mercy, Percy. Check something here. I'm not sure how this plays out, to be honest with you. Oh, there we go. It does work. Okay. I just checking something. Anyways, anyways, technology. The nose. I certainly pick up a lot of brown sugar, but I get a lot of maple too. That's what I kind of was checking that sweetness there. It feels like maple. It's that 100% malted barley, man. Oh, that's just a whole other animal. And then I have this one here. from Restless Spirits. And I thought about opening, or I thought about having. I want to have open. I've got another bottle that I don't have open. But anyway, this is their American single malt whiskey. Their 6-year-old version of that uses second use bourbon cask, I believe. It comes out at 92 proof. Then they've got a 4-year-old that uses new charred oak barrels. So, but it's only a 4-year-old. But because it's the new charred, it's a little bit darker. So that version I haven't opened yet. So I'm looking forward to trying that one. I'm gonna try not to open that until we get to one of the holidays, right? We got to get to something. Maybe around Thanksgiving or Christmas. We'll see. I just have several bottles open that I need to work on first. And I've been working on some of those older bottles, but I really was wanting to try this one again tonight because it'd been a little bit, been over a week since I tried it, so I wanted to get back to it. I want to give myself a nice, good 3-ounce pour here to really enjoy this particular product. Uh, anyway, anyways, I digress. So I'm getting my knee back in shape. I actually went back to work this week after being off my main gig for about 2.5 months. Part of me was glad to get back. Part of me wasn't. Uh, the part of me that needs the money was glad to get back. Oh, mercy. This stuff is absolutely delicious. Man, this whiskey. It seems like every time I have it, I find something that I didn't find before. Every time I take a drink, I say, "Oh wow, that's there." Oh Lord have mercy. So Union Horse, I did pick up also picked up their cask rye when I was there too. So I picked up 2 bottles of the Rivalist and 1 bottle of their cask rye. From Restless Spirits, I bought the 2 single malt whiskeys, but I also picked up a couple bottles. They only come in 375s of their Pachin, which is an unaged 100% barley at 120 proof. So that's the dilemma I've got right now. Is I've got 1 bottle that I've been working on. I thought about pulling out for this video, but I did. But I've got 1 bottle not opened that I'm debating whether I should just leave it as is because it is a beautiful whiskey, right? Perfect as is, but it is 100% malted barley as well. So I'm debating getting some oak chips from my local homebrew shop, yeah, and kind of giving it an age myself because I'll be pouring that over oak chips. It's going to age faster. So I've thought about that too. I keep going back and forth whether I should or not, but I think, in all honesty, curiosity is going to get the better of me because it is 100% malted barley. I am going to want, if I put it over some oak, what happens now? If I can come across some actual bourbon barrel chips or chunks, I will probably do that, but I haven't been able to find that yet. But if I did, if I did, I certainly would. But I'm thinking about just putting over some oak and just see what that would do to that 100% malted barley. Just that one little bottle. Kind of get it going now and then check it for the first time right about New Year's Eve. See, right there again, I feel like every time I pick this up to take a drink, I find something that wasn't there before that I didn't pick up before. I should say they mentioned some caramel, but I'm going to put a finer point on that and say dark caramel, almost like a very burnt sugar caramel. But right at that moment, I almost feel like I picked up some dark chocolate notes. No, that's not quite right. More like more like a Dutch processed cocoa like note. It's like a little hint in there. Anyways, anyway, I digress. This Oktoberfest, it really is brilliantly done from the good folks of Barn City Brewing, Kansas City, Missouri. Anyways, mercy, mercy. Yeah, I kind of got out of my rhythm there. I had to set up to do a 9 o'clock video, and then I couldn't do the video. So I was getting a little frustrated, but things just weren't working quite the way I wanted them to. But like I said, sometimes life fucks you, and you just gotta fuck it right back. Mercy, mercy. Anyway, uh, here's to you. Try to stay positive. Sometimes it's not easy. You got folks always trying to bring it down. I think that's because there are people out there that are just so miserable. They're not happy unless everybody else is miserable around them. Right? We all know those folks, don't we? You're having a good day, and all they want to do is complain about everybody else. Hey, man, I don't care. I don't know why we all just can't be happy. It just life isn't fair to anybody. It just isn't. You still got to find a reason to be positive. My wife and I lost our son to cancer 10 years ago. I've got perfectly good reason to be a miserable son of a bitch, but I choose not to be. I try to be as positive as humanly possible, especially when I'm around other people. And no matter how terrible I feel or how torn up I am inside, if I'm at work or out in public, nobody will ever know that. All they see is smiling Tom. And I'm not saying everybody should necessarily fake who they are. I'm just saying, it does nobody good to be a miserable son of a bitch. We've all been dealt a bad hand, but if you play it the right way, it can still be a winner. Speaking of somebody that once won a poker tournament with a king high card, sometimes you just got to convince people you got a great hand, even when you know you don't. Yeah, I went to. I was in this tournament several years ago. It's been quite a long time, to be honest with you now. But I was playing with the same folks as you go from table to table. There's always somebody that stays with you. And we got to the last table, and I had honestly looked at my cards wrong. And I thought I had something I didn't have until I realized I didn't have it, but I was already committed, right? So I went all in on a hand. The other guy was debating whether he should, and everybody was telling, "Oh, he's bluffing. Go ahead and go in." He said, "I've been playing with this guy all night long. He doesn't bluff. He hasn't bluffed once all night. No, he's got the hand," and he folded. He folded with he folded with trip kings when I had nothing but a king high. But he was certain that I had that straight because I was certain I had it till I looked at that. Oh shit, I looked at that wrong. I was betting that I had a straight till I realized I didn't have it, but I was already committed to keep going. But that's what poker's all about. You set a specific pattern, right? That they knew all night long. I don't bluff. I did bluff one hand all night long. So they knew I wasn't bluffing the one hand. I wasn't bluffing because I hadn't bluffed yet. And that's how I won. Because they were certain I wasn't bluffing when I was bluffing my ass off. But this guy is just gonna. He said, "Are you bluffing?" I said, "Yes." I was telling him, "Are you bluffing?" Yeah, yeah, I'm bluffing. Of course, I'm bluffing. And he said, "Fold." He's not bluffing. He's not going to tell me he's bluffing if he's bluffing. I was bluffing. I'm not going to lie to you. If I tried to convince him I wasn't bluffing, he would see through that. Knew I was lying to him. I looked him dead in the eyes and told him I was bluffing. because I was telling the truth. And he took that as I wasn't. So anyway, I guess you could take that lesson a couple different ways, couldn't you? Sometimes, sometimes you get lucky telling the truth, or uh, sometimes you only win by trickery. I don't. Kind of depends on your point of view, right? Uh, was a good win though. I took it. Seems like the popularity of Texas Hold'em kind of goes in and out. I remember uh, right about seemed to be very popular right about I don't know, like between 2005 2010. It's kind of faded since then. And I see tournaments starting to pop up again in my neck of the woods now, and I keep thinking, well, maybe I'll enter one. But it's always on a day where there's no way I can get out there to do it. I used to have a regular card game with some folks in not Springfield here, but not too far off. But I kind of lost contact with those folks about a decade ago. And quite frankly, I just don't enjoy playing as much. There's time I just love playing cards, and I just don't enjoy it as much as I once did. There's no bowling league at one time, but I had to give that up because I just it got to where it just wasn't even fun anymore. I think some people just take shit way too seriously. People are out bowling or playing cards for relaxation. You start taking that shit seriously, it's no fun anymore, man. You're supposed to use these things to take the stress out. You know, be a stress reliever. And if fun starts to become stressful, that's no longer fun, man. Anyways, well, that's the wisdom. That's the pearl of wisdom I'm gonna drop on you tonight. Anyway, I digress. Oh man, this stuff is just gorgeous. I love how you get that you feel that sweetness right away. When I talked about the brown sugar, because yeah, a very dark brown sugar, because you're definitely going to feel some molasses, but I also feel a lot of maple. And again, the fruit notes. There was this one distinct drink I had where I really felt raised in a great big way, and then I felt some dark cherry notes as well. And then at one point again, I was talking about those cocoa like notes as well. And you get those the baking spice notes that they talk about. Again, for me, I feel a lot of allspice, a lot of cinnamon, but I get a lot of ginger in there, which isn't necessarily a baking spice, but it really fits in there. So, anyways, I am Tom the Whiskey Whisperer, Whiskey Evangelist, Blue Whiskey Drinker, Purveyor of Wisdom, and oh, excuse me, cilantro. I'm Tom the, also Tom the Beer Whisperer, Beer Evangelist, Blue Drinker, Purveyor of Wisdom, and oh, biscuits and gravy. That's good. I love those big malty notes. This Meriton is absolutely gorgeous. By golly, I believe it's raining outside. I have a firm grasp of the obvious. Anyway, we're gonna skip to the end and say all around good guy, cilantro.